Hello YouTube, my name is Tyler Manheimer and today we'll be discussing LCD viewfinders. Basically this is a homemade concoction that I just made with Sintra, some super glue, and a magnifying lens for maps. And I made this for about $5. I mean, I've seen them online, I'm sure you've seen them online if you're looking at them. And they can go anywhere for a decent one from $175 and on up. And I couldn't see myself spending $200 on just a box and a lens. So basically, I just got some Sintra from work, which we have in abundance that's laying around in scraps. Basically this, I'm not sure if this is maybe a 1/4 inch Sintra. You don't want it to be too thin because it'll be too flimsy then. But this is a particularly good size. And you can probably go to a sign shop or a graphic shop that does framing, and you might have a good bill to go in there and ask them for scraps, because this piece of Sintra right here is pretty much useless to them in its current form. And this is more than you need to make one of these, as you can see. And the Sintra itself is very easily cut. I don't have scissors here, but you can cut this with scissors or a razor blade. If you have like a table saw, cuts beautifully. There's the amount of uses you can use and things you can create with this particular piece of Sintra is, for your camera and viewfinders, is you can get very elaborate with it, but I chose to go pretty simple. Choice is yours. And again, basically, all you got to do is cut your bottom piece off first, which you see right here, and you mount it to the bottom of your camera. And this is important because when you're mounting your lens, you need to put the lens up to your viewfinder and get it in focus to your eye. Mark that area on your piece of Sintra, and that's where the lens needs to go. Now, there's one fallback with this. Like if you take this particular viewfinder, put it up to someone else's eye who's wearing glasses and they have bad eyesight, it's not going to work for them. But for $5, you know, tell them to make their own. And basically, for taking, Sintra can scratch your lens to your camera very easily. So what I did, I took the soft side of Velcro, took a razor blade, cut it in strips, and I just laid it out on the edges so that way it's soft on the side of your camera. You don't worry about scratching it. Did the same thing to this side. And I have another video that kind of shows it, up close. This kind of looks pretty dinky, but if you take a sock or whatnot, then you can take the sock and you can put the sock over it like so. Give me a second. And it kind of gives it a little more professional look, I guess, for a sock. About as professional you can get with a sock. Just squeeze on up there. And you can probably do this with like any type of clothing that you can find or something you want, maybe even like sweatband for your wrists. And you just kind of curl that back like so, get it on there, because that way it looks more like an actual viewfinder, if you will. And you can put it up to your eye. Then this side to your camera. And it's also important to make sure that none of your buttons are covered up by the viewfinder. Then just take her, screw her on. It's that easy.